Because their runway lights stay on all the time. Got you on camera here too. We'll get you in action.
So is this a private airport?
It's an uncontrolled airport. It's not necessarily private. When we say private, we talk about that in terms of ownership, who owns it. This is owned by the county, Brevard County. So it's technically public, it's just uncontrolled. Okay. There's no control tower. It's a lot smaller, too small for, airliners to come in, or, the really, really big planes to come in. All right, now that I'm on this strip right here, I'm checking my instruments. I'm going side to side for a reason, but I'm checking my instruments. Airspeed, attitude indicator is good. Look where my finger's pointing here. Altimeter, which we talked about earlier, is representative of the current elevation.
Yes, sir.
As I turn left to right, my turn coordinator is moving with me. This ball is moving in the opposite direction. This heading indicator is moving with me as I go left to right, and the vertical speed indicator is at 0. These are just making sure that everything's responding correctly as far as my flight instruments.
Yes, sir.
Valkyria traffic, Scout November 94768, taking off runway 14, Valkyria. All right, I don't see anybody down the runway. And this will be a pretty short flight, but I wanted to make sure I walk you through things thoroughly so you got to understand it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Notice that shimmy. All right, we're out there. And we are off.
Pretty smooth takeoff.
Yeah. Everything looks good. Gauges look good. Speed looks good. So over there is the river, your controls, and you say, my controls, and I say, your controls, all right? So, your controls.
My controls.
Your controls. All right, so you can put your hand on the yoke. This is called the yoke. And all you're doing, really not much of nothing. I've set you up pretty nice to where you shouldn't have to move the controls too much. But we're just on our climb. I know we're drifting this way a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have you turn very slightly that way, very, very slightly. And you're going to notice that everything you do needs to be small, little micro movements. Very small movements. That's how you go smooth. You don't want to jerk it. You always want smooth inputs. Yeah. And then if you can turn back that way a little bit, you're just getting a feel for it. There you go. You're doing good, man. You're almost at 3,000. I got you continuing your climb. In fact, in order to keep that climb coming, I'm going to have you pull back very slightly towards yourself. There you go, very slightly. You can keep it right there. And now we're there. So now that we're over 3,000, I'm going to have you push forward very slightly. Push forward very slightly until you see a little bit of that land. There we go. You can push forward a little bit more. And I'm going to pull your power back a little bit since we don't need full power anymore. I'm going to pull this mixture back. There you go. 12 years. What's this, 2024? I've been licensed since 2012, so yep, 12 years. It'll be 12 years in August, actually, officially. Great job, man. Great job. All right, I'm going to report again. Valkyria traffic, Scout November 94768, about 3 nautical miles to the south. We'll be entering a left downwind for runway 24, descending out of 1,500, Valkyria. Question. I haven't pulled it all the way out yet. When I get closer to the runway, hit my last notch of flaps, and you'll see I'll pull power out even more.
All right.
Yeah, so I just hit my last notch, so those flaps are all the way out. Adjusting my trim. Notice I barely got my hands on the yoke because I'm making sure that I got a pretty good, descent on its own. So I'm not having to constantly push and pull on that yoke. My power's all the way out now.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm just sliding in, man. That's it.
Whoa.
Flaps up.
All righty.